Welcome back to Perth, Australia for Kitefoil Racing, the Nationals for the 2021 season of the NKFS title as well in Perth, Australia at JBSC Sailing Club at Woodman's Point in Perth. And we've got the same conditions. It's still day 2 for this event and it's a southwest wind blowing across the headland you can see there. And medium kites, people on 15 metres generally. This is the standard course, 2 laps, windward, leeward, up around the top mark, port rounding, split through the bottom gates either way, second lap, and then around to the starboard, round the start pin and through the finish line. And here's what we have so far. So, this is deceptive because at this point, Zach was actually on top here. So Zach had several bullets. The tally so far with Hector having 3 bullets, Zach having 3, and Lando having 1 there, Scott having 1 as well. Oscar Tim right behind them, Elty Frisbee and Brianna, and that's that next group with Jane and Phil. Jake Tim behind them, Ludo, Ant Pillinger, Boris, Louis, and all the rest of us there at the back. But a really tight contested group of 4 at the front of the men's, and Brie and Jane contesting the females. And we are proudly sponsored by WA Government, Lottery West, Dodo Industries, Flymax, Gin Kites, Aspire, and Innate Brewers. Thank you to all those sponsors for bringing this event to us. And here is a message from our sponsors as we kick it off. So, yeah, we've got a southwest sea breeze, but a light one here today again. So, it's day 2, and we've got 15-metre kites, generally the order of the day, a couple are going bigger. And you see everybody lining up here, getting ready for the start. Obviously, the boat there, you can see in the picture, is the start boat. There is a flag down there on this side of the boat, in the bottom of the screen. Everybody lining up. A lot of people looking like they're going close to that boat end. But they will spread out as we get closer. So, you can see already the lime green and grey Fly Surfer VMGs already heading down to that pin end. 2 red Flymax booms in the middle of that course. Look at the middle of the start line. And a few Ozone R1s up at the boat end. Some Gin Instincts. There's a light blue Gin Flymax there of Andrew Cooksey, Alty, Phil, etc. at the top. Dan Anderson. Ludo in the middle and the blue kite, Jake on the F1, and we're away. So, yes, VMG's down the tail end, Ant Pillinger down the bottom of the screen there on that Gin Instinct. And it's looking pretty good for the people in the middle there. Hector's going very well, Jane Taylor right on his hammer, so that's a great sign for Jane, well done. And I'm assuming that's Bree right there next to Hector in front of Jane. Oscar Tim on the grey F1 Diablo V5, and the Fly Surfer VMG in the front with the green helmet is Zach Pullen. Right of screen on the big double F kite is the old generation F1 Diablo V4. Obviously losing a bit of ground there as the fleet pulls away upwind of Jake Tim. But at the front here, it looks like we've got LT right at the top of the screen there with Cooksey. Look at that neck and neck. Those guys are always duking it out. And they're also to windward. So Hector in good position here. And holding line very well. But obviously, Brie and Oscar slipping to leeward there. Zach Pullen holding a reasonably good line, but pulling out in terms of distance, going for boat speed. Hector goes first, tacking across. Zach going all the way to the left of the course, which has been working to some extent. And up they go. Maybe that's Scott Whitehead there. on the right-hand side of Zach Pullen there. So Zach has gone the furthest to the left. Hector is more up the centre of the course. That's Scott Whitehead there on that VMG. And looking at that, I would say Zach is in front of Scott there. He's more to windward. If he has an overlay, which I wouldn't assume because this course is reasonably long, he is going to be looking to get the inside there going up into that corner. Hector obviously is going to hit that ley line first and come in on starboard, but he may be coming in behind these two by the look of that. No sign of Lando there. I'm not sure what's happened to him. They are generally, the four of these guys are neck and neck. So right on cue, that would be him right there. That would be Alti or Phil in the top of screen on the black R1 V4. Ludo on the blue R1 V4 on the right of screen. Somebody's going off the China on a gin instinct up the top there. Potentially port started or something and just went out to sea. And this top ley line is going to be pretty interesting. I would say, and there's Oscar Tim on the F1 Diablo, not quite on the pace, but the first one behind that group. The group really seems to be, looking at these, is that front four are really on their own. Oscar's always kind of behind them, and then there's kind of Alti taking a crash at the top, or Phil. And yeah, then that chase group is Alti, Jane, Brie, etc. And here we go. So yeah, that was Zach Pullen making it to the top. So there you go. Zach has done that just on pure speed. And you can see there, slightly lower angle, but just pulling boat speed. And absolutely flying. 15 VMG2. Scott right on his hammer. Hector looking to make chase. And yeah, Zach just going for speed. Scott same. Be interesting to see on the angle. The boom sometimes and Hector can get a deeper angle downwind. Watch out for the shag. And yeah, this is just looking like Zach is just absolutely lit up here. Another beautiful day on the water. Nice to be able to see the bottom there. Good moderate winds too. There was a little bit of weed around, but all in all, a really good day for Kitefoil racing. Zach throwing his drive in there. Scott going the same time. Of course, these guys aren't hitting a ley line here. They'll be going through the gate if they're going to the left of the course. They will just be heading across anywhere they like. And of course, the person who is the highest will come in as they hit that lay. If they're all going to the left of the course, whoever's the highest will hit that and come into the bottom gate on starboard, having right away. So if Hector could pull enough speed here, he could throw a jibe on top and come and block into that bottom gate. So that could be a consideration, but he may be too far behind. It looks like Zach is just powering away here. He's found a couple extra knots of speed and he's leaving them in his dust. But a fantastic lineup. It just goes to show how close these guys are. Lando must have had a problem out of the start there off screen because he is generally with this group in this incredibly tight front group. I can't remember watching Kitefoil racing having four people so dead close at the top. It could be literally any of these four who wins each of these races. Maybe Scott a little bit off the pace, but certainly you can see there he's not on this race. He's right there with them. And getting that jibe in front of Hector for that second position. So that's really going to be closely battled one here. And it looks like Lando, having slipped back a bit, is going to have to duke it out with Oscar Tim. So it'll be interesting to see how these battles go. Zach, it looks like he's running away. So Hector v Scott, interesting little fight. Scott with a nice rounding. Hector, kite nice and high as well. Get that rounding with the kite high and then drop it down, drop the hammer. Hector, you can see, came out a bit skinnier, which is how you want to do those. You want to go in fat, come out skinny. The Jenny Craig corner. And as you can see, Hector's got a little bit more height there. Flysurfer VMG2, obviously known for their performance upwind. Interesting to see Hector there matching pretty much for VMG speed and angle on his Boom V2 15 metre, which is 1 year old, the one he rode in this event last year. And matching pretty much, you can see he's dropping angle there now. He's changed his tactic. So just as I said that, he's decided to go down a little bit lower potentially just looking for boat speed here rather than pinching high. The VMG2 is an incredibly high angle kite. VMG seems to be much the same. So interesting little battle there. And of course, when Zach wasn't here last year, which was actually a States, but a very similar event, Hector and Scott were in a league of their own, running from the front and battling like this neck and neck. This year, Zach Paulin has come across and has enormously improved. Also, Alex Landauer last year was off the pace riding F1 Diablos and not actually getting near this group. Recently has converted to Fly Surfer VMG2s and has lifted his speed significantly. Not sure if it's kite or skill or both, but he has had an instant uplift since moving to the Fly Surfer away from the F1 Diablos, and has now joined this front group. In this race, he is duking it out with Oscar, potentially through an error on the start on the first tack maybe. So Hector not quite matching here. He's definitely not for angle. And Zach absolutely killing there. He's so high, no mistakes, and fantastic boat speed for angle. Off into the horizon in beautiful Jervois Bay / Woodman's Point, an Anchorage area. Drone pilot doing a quick 360 to show everybody. Beautiful work there, Declan. Thanks for taking the drone footage again, mate. In the background there, I think that's Rottnest Island. You can see at the back. Straight ahead, Karnak Island. If you look in the distance, on the left, Garden Island. Beautiful waterways here. Absolutely fantastic sunny day. Nice steady seas. Garden Island provides a fantastic anchorage there. And Monique de Vries, top of screen there on the Sol. Well out of the way, doing the right thing. That's fantastic to see. Zach nicely executing the tack at the top lay line. Doesn't need any mistakes here. If he can just hold this down, he's got enough lead. Scott pulling nicely in second place there, executing very well. Hector following along in third. And there's Lando. He's almost catching up a little there. He's definitely got a good gap out there on Oscar. They were pretty close coming into that bottom gate. So Oscar not quite on the pace on that Diablo 5. Not sure what the reason is there, but obviously young fella too in the juniors. But and there's the chase pack of Alty, Jane Taylor, Andy Cooksey, Bree Whitehead in that chasing group. But yeah, Zach in the foreground, storming away. In the background there too, Ludo, Jake Tim, Ant Pillinger, Boris, Dan Anderson. And I think there was a halo, might be Dan Self or Riley. Interestingly, Hector going quite long there. Where's he? He might be having a crack here. He may as well, right? Throw at this point, he may as well try something different. This is the most spread these top four have been, actually. Zach quite a long way out in front. Scott there in a pretty comfortable second place, but you got to watch Hector downwind. He is freakish. In the background there, you can see Oscar on the grey kite. I believe that's Bree, Alty, Jane, Cooksey in that group of four following along. That's generally how this is. Front four, Oscar kind of on his own following, and then that group of four. Bree, Alty, Jane, and Cooksey when he was actually there. Only did a day or two of racing. Zach achieving good depth here. You can see he's actually pulling further downwind on this run than Scott on the same kite. So he's definitely getting an extra bit of VMG downwind. And here he goes looking for that gate. This will be his final through the gates around the starboard and then around the start pin for the slalom finish, jibe. And he'll be doing the rounding through the buoy here. Scott in the background. Now, where's Hector? He is going to come, and he's killed it downwind. There you go. He's going to close that. He had a pretty big gap on Scott there, and he's got him by 10 metres there by the look of that, if he can hold this through to the finish. And this is all really important in this points chase here as well. So Zach pulling in front on points at this stage. but it's still anybody's. He is executing beautifully there around the pin. And heading into the finish, and Hector is pretty comfortably smashing it downwind. Taking a deep angle around that boy. Hopefully he hasn't gone too far there, but looks like he'll probably pull that back up. Zach, comfortable win. Well done, Zach Pullen. Beautiful racing. He just was on fire. Smashing it right from the start. Hector, fantastic comeback for second. He was well off on some of those upwind runs. Killed it downwind. There's Oscar. Where's Lando? Missed Lando in that one. Maybe he slipped through there for fourth place. And then Oscar coming through behind. And we are pretty much at the finish there. So, unfortunately, didn't see that next group come through. Refer to the score sheets to see where they finished up there. But it was looking like Bree, Alti, Jane, Cooksey. Not necessarily in that order, but that group of four all chasing down Oscar on his own behind the group of four. And I think it's coming through there. So there's a Blue Instinct and I think Julie Patterell on the R1V3 there. And that's where we'll leave the coverage, and we'll finish out with a message from our sponsor with the fantastic Gin Instinct kite. Cheers.